Alright, Shalom, Shalom. This is NATIVEBOYKTA. I got you another precept I got, right? I actually just reading Proverbs. That's why I know how to bust this out, because this something was on my spirit all yesterday. It's funny that I actually came across this as I was going into, I was on Proverbs 9, right? And Proverbs 9 and 13 to 18. Something that I was thinking about is how a lot of these doctrines, right, that go around, and there's a lot of brothers in this truth, and there are other truths, but in general, right, that when they come into a lot of this stuff pertaining to the Bible, everything's pertaining to the Quran, like the groups like Nation of Islam, all these different groups, right, amongst our people, and how that a lot of them, the central text is either the Bible. Damn, either the Bible or the Quran. It's like a fucking burrito, man. It's either the Bible or the Quran, but a lot of our people never read the Bible or the Quran. Matter of fact, a lot of our people have not been well versed when it comes to Abrahamic religion prior to them coming into a lot of these groups. So Proverbs 9, it's funny because it actually goes into the same thing I was thinking, right? So stupidity imitates wisdom's banquet. This is a chapter talking about wisdom. But it then goes, a foolish woman is clamorous, she is simple, and knoweth nothing. For she sitteth at the door of her house on a seat in the high places of the city, to call passengers who go right on their ways. Whoso is simple, let him turn in hither. And as for him that wanteth understanding, she said to him, stolen waters are sweet, and bread eaten in secret is pleasant. But he knoweth not that the dead are there, and that, look at that. That was a shadow, my bad. I know something about flies, so check out the window open. Stolen waters are, but he knoweth not that the dead are there, and that her guests are in the depths of hell. Right? So, that's the finishing parts to Proverbs chapter 9, right? So, what is Solomon saying in this, at the end of this chapter, Proverbs 9? It equates perfectly to what I was thinking with a lot of these groups amongst our people that say that they have the truth and they push these doctrines, right? When I say doctrines, you could look at the One West camps like that. You could look at Nation of Islam like that. You could look at 5% Nation like that. It's always a message that is based upon something in the Bible, but not that it encompasses everything in the Bible. Sometimes this is why a lot of people disagree with certain things, because we have different interpretations. When you take your interpretation and you say this is what we are, right? Like how even in the Israelite movement you have Negroes only and then Latinos only. This is all based off of individual's interpretation. And to be honest with you, that's fine for the most part, because we don't all believe things that are so separate. Even if you look at Catholics, right, or the Trinity and all that stuff, this is not as radical as like basically the difference between Christianity and Hinduism, for example, right? But what I'm saying is, brothers need to stop joining groups and putting themselves in these doctrines and defenders of these doctrines when that they are not even familiar with the text. If you're not familiar with the scripture, you've never opened up the Bible no day in your life, why would you be telling people that this is like this is that, and they need to join this camp, or that they need to become a Jehovah's Witness? You see what I'm saying? It makes no sense, because that is like literally the epitome of a foolish person. Like, how would you talk about a book, whether we talking about positive or negative? How would you talk about a book that you've never read? It makes no sense. How would you talk about a book that you've never read? How would you talk about a book, whether it's positive or negative? Like I said, it's like foolish people, agnostic people, even a lot of Muslims. They will talk shit about the Bible. They've never read the Bible, but they just saying things they repeat. This is, we say, the foolish person. So even when it goes, but he, whoso is simple, let him turn in hither, right? A lot of these things as well could be stumbling blocks, because I ain't gonna hold you. Look, this Bible is about 1,000 pages long, about 970 pages, right? It's gonna take you a while before you could gather a synopsis on how you feel overall. Furthermore, how you interpret certain scriptures yourself. So the reason why I want to go into this is because people need to be careful when it comes to joining groups and getting too ahead of themselves and being impatient. You see what I'm saying? The simple person is impatient because a simple person would take any and everything as it is when that they don't know. They're not well versed on something. They're not well read or not familiar. Why would you, like you said, why would you just be walking down the street and a bitch is talking about she trying to give you some pussy, right? If you do some things, she do anything for some change. You see what I'm saying? That's fast shit. You don't want a wicked heathenist woman like that. You want to find you the girl of your dreams. You want to find you feel me? I want my wife and kids like Damon Wayans. I don't know about you, my nigga. You feel me? Oh shit, the sun coming in, right? Get good light, right? Nigga, I want my wife and kids like Damon Wayans, motherfucker. I'm not trying to be dealing with no harlot. I'm not trying to be dealing with no whore or Jezebel or no shit like that. You see what I'm saying? The patience that I've had with this book, the Holy Bible, right? It has benefited me, bro. It's benefited me. So you always remember, be patient, right? Wise and wisdom, wisdom in itself, being patient, being well versed, studying, right? Premeditating, meditating on the word. That's important rather than you joining all these sects and denominations and groups. So you feel me? That was just a quick little breakdown I want to give for that Proverbs 9 verses 13 to 18, right? So, you know, this name boy KTA. Just keep that in mind when you see, especially some of these brothers with some of these camps that be on the streets.